Nelson touch.
touch.
Oh, and he's saying this about himself.
Hello guys,
Hi everyone.
I am Valdemar.
And I'm Veronica. Can we watch it already? I'm so excited to see this battle. Today we are continuing our 3-day-long series of watching Napoleon because we've been gone for a little break. So we really wanted to see everything, all of the 3 very important videos in one go.
We waited too long.
So today we're watching the Nelson's battles, the Trafalgar one.
Yeah, the last one.
The last one. So
yeah, we already knew that.
We were spoiled.
I mean, I knew it before from Oversimplified, but you said that you knew it
Yeah,
too.
I knew it too. I mean, just the fact of it, that it would be the one where it ends.
But you knew that he died?
Yeah.
How?
It was not in the movie?
No.
I don't know. From the internet, I suppose. Sometimes you know strange things from the internet.
Okay. Weird. Weird thing to know at random. That's okay. Yeah, the last episode was kind of underwhelming for us because we were so excited at Battle of Austerlitz, you know. It was, I think, the most popular video from this series and, you know, the most popular Battle of Napoleon. But we didn't know that the video is so old and it really did not compare well to others because the others, you know, were such a high quality, you know, with epic music, with those quotes, with this direction that it was, the narration was
indeed. So while
much
like
more
everything
alive.
that Napoleon did, it was still super exciting, and the whole the events itself were very exciting. We couldn't help but feel that if only it was made a bit later, then it would be even more. And we really want, we should start a petition.
We demand a remake,
yeah.
of this episode, definitely. And guys, maybe we could, you know, if you are already here, maybe we can use
start
it as a
movement.
platform.
Yes.
Like we will start a petition or something, and we will send it to Epic History.
Oh, just a very small note. I think we already know what we are going to watch when we finish Napoleon in some, I don't know, 30 weeks or however long.
Yeah, but we
left.
already said that we were gonna watch Oversimplified, right?
Yes, Oversimplified as well. But didn't you say that there's a new series from Epic History? That's why I started thinking about it.
I only read that they started it and that first episode is available on Patreon.
Okay.
I don't know how it's the case now, but they started making a series about the Second World War.
Yeah, so Valdemar came back home from work and he was really, really excited. Just so you know how much we really enjoy this. We are not just watching this so that you guys can watch it with us, but we really like the channel.
But if they are going in such a detail as this campaign of Napoleon, and with the same attitude they will try to go about the Second World War, then I think it will take years.
You have things to watch until the end of your life.
It will take longer than the Second World War itself.
Okay, ready?
Ready.
I am ready.
An Epic History Drakenfell collaboration. In 1792, the French Revolution sparked a European conflict that would last a generation. A struggle for mastery of Europe and the world. A contest fought on land
much better.
and sea. In this war of shifting alliances, the most enduring rivalry was between France and Britain. Britain could not challenge France on land, but at sea, it was a different matter.
I'm so excited.
Britain's Royal Navy was as dominant on the waves as Napoleon was to prove on land. And in an age when Britain had many skilled naval commanders, one stood out above the rest. Horatio Nelson. Bold, inspiring, and brilliant.
And
For the
flamboyant.
British, he had become a national hero
No, not this one.
and legend. These are the stories of his greatest battles.
Well. He gave up on the quotability. He was like, no, let's just go straight to business. And I can respect that.
1805. The short peace between Britain and France has collapsed, and the two rivals are at war once more. Britain, Russia, and Austria have formed a new alliance, known as the Third Coalition.
And Sweden and Kingdom of Naples.
Napoleon renews the French alliance with Spain. The newly crowned Emperor of the French is determined to finally defeat Britain, the nation that bankrolls the alliances against
The
him,
music really is doing all the job.
decimates French overseas trade,
Not all the
No,
time.
no, but
and
a
blockades
large
her
chunk.
ports.
No, but have you noticed that even his narration style is
He
different?
seems, yeah, that's what I wanted to say.
He
Like,
seems more
he
excited.
seems more excited.
Yeah.
Yeah?
He has assembled a large invasion force on the Channel coast. His battle-hardened troops will make short work of the British, if he can control the Channel long enough to land them safely. The British Navy outclasses the French in number of ships and skill, but it cannot be everywhere at once. So Napoleon will use one of his favorite military principles, concentration of force, to secure temporary dominance at the decisive point. French and Spanish squadrons, scattered in numerous ports, will be brought together to form a giant combined fleet to take on the British. The Emperor gives command of the first phase of this mission to Admiral Pierre Villeneuve. Villeneuve had joined the Navy as a 14-year-old trainee officer and seen service in the American War of Independence. A supporter of the French Revolution, he was one of the few aristocratic officers to remain in naval service and was promoted to Rear Admiral. In 1790,
What he was doing at the Navy in the age of 14.
But learning to be an officer.
Jesus, it's no wonder that they were so successful in their 30s if they started their careers when they were 14.
Oh, they were, but in the first Nelson's battle, I think, when they were talking a little bit more about the early generals, most of them, they mentioned they started their careers at 11 or 12. Remember? It was often said that they escaped their homes or that they were living in the
Maybe
streets
it
and then
would
they
help us,
started.
to have the... If we knew that we were going to die in our 50s, like most of the people at this time, then maybe we would be more successful.
Well, early on, I guess, but then you don't get to enjoy it. Maybe we will be successful when we're 40 or something. And then we get to enjoy it.
1898, he commanded the 80-gun Guillaume Tell at the Battle of the Nile. His was one of the few ships to escape that disaster.
Oh.
He was later captured when Malta fell to the British, but was released when peace was declared. In 1804, the commander of the French Mediterranean fleet dies of a heart attack, and Villeneuve replaces him with the rank of Vice Admiral. In temperament, Villeneuve could not be more unlike Nelson. In 1805, he writes to the Minister of the Navy, "You will be so good as to recall that I have not asked for command of this squadron. What is more, I have always sought a practical and useful career, as opposed to one filled with glory."
Okay.
That would be
On the 13th
interesting.
guy.
March 1805,
Yeah,
following
he stands
the
out, right? Oh, sorry. Ah.
Emperor's orders, Admiral Villeneuve sails from Toulon with 11 ships of the line, slips past Nelson's blockading force, and joins up with 6 Spanish ships and a further French ship off Cadiz. Now with 18 ships, Villeneuve sets off on a 5-week crossing of the Atlantic.
Why?
On arrival in the French West Indies,
collect the
he
rest.
links up with another 2 French ships under Rear Admiral Magon. The British, meanwhile, are in disarray. When Nelson lost track of Villeneuve, he guessed the French were heading back to Egypt and raced off in pursuit. He reaches Alexandria before he realizes his mistake.
I
So he
cannot...
doubles back.
I cannot imagine. Sorry, I mentioned it many times, but the naval battle is a mystery for me, and I cannot imagine that. Like the speed of that, like this whole distance. Like they show it like they were on a walk in the city,
Yeah.
and they
But it
across
was
the
5
whole
weeks, you said.
Atlantic Ocean. And he went to look for them in the Mediterranean
Like,
Sea, and he's like, "Oh, maybe they're in Egypt. Let's go to Egypt,
Yeah,
guys."
he stops a guy like rowing in a boat. He's like, "Did you see which way the army went?" And he's like, "Oh, that way." He's like, "Okay." He goes there. It's kind of,
It's like Asterix and Obelix and Cleopatra with those pirates.
Oh yeah,
Like they
meeting
stumble
each
upon
other.
each other.
all the time.
and sets course for the West Indies, a full month behind Villeneuve. Nelson makes the crossing in just 4 weeks, but misses Villeneuve by a matter of days, who sails back to Europe on the 8th of June.
I would be so frustrated at that point.
But then, a lucky break for the British. Nelson sends a fast-sailing ship to carry his reports back to England. And by sheer good chance, it spots Villeneuve's fleet in the
I can't
Atlantic.
understand this.
The distances and everything. Maybe there's a movie we can watch about
Their
this.
course is not back to the Med, as Nelson had assumed, but more northerly, towards the Channel. Vice Admiral Calder, with 15 ships of the line, is put on high alert, and on the 22nd of July, he intercepts Villeneuve off Cape Finisterre. In confused fighting, in heavy fog, the British capture 2 Spanish ships.
No, sorry, I can understand. And whenever there is a fog, they're like, oh, where are they? I don't see them. Where are they? But they were going in a different direction, apparently,
And they spotted them.
were expecting. And they spotted them on a fucking Atlantic Ocean.
I think it's just the case that the weather really has a lot of bearing on the result of the battle on the sea, and then on the visibility. If it's a clear day, then you can really see for hundreds of miles, I suppose.
And I think the currents must
Yes.
have a large, part in this, because you really have to go on some paths that are established.
Yeah, and
Because
it's
it
not like you
wouldn't be
can.
just possible.
And it's not like you can hide your whole naval, armada behind an island or something. So if you are on the open
but
sea
there
and
is
the
a
weather is good,
curvature of the Earth. So also, if there are
yep,
in a long enough distance, then you
Then
won't
you
see
won't see
them
them.
behind the horizon.
But Calder fails to prevent Villeneuve reaching the Spanish port of Ferrol. The French admiral then makes a fateful decision. His orders are clear: proceed to Brest and then on to the Channel. But reports of ships to the north persuade him that he is about to be attacked by Britain's powerful Channel fleet. His ships, battered by Atlantic gales and battle, cannot fight again without repairs. So he retreats to Cadiz. Here he is soon blockaded by a growing number of British ships. Napoleon is furious when he receives this news. Villeneuve does not possess the strength of character to command a frigate, he tells the naval minister.
yeah, they do not
It is
agree
nearly
in
autumn.
this position.
And a cross-channel invasion is now impossible. Villeneuve has failed him, and Napoleon must look for other ways to defeat the British.
How must it feel to have Napoleon disappointed in you?
In late August,
Can you imagine?
Napoleon's troops break camp at Boulogne and march off to face the Austrians and Russians on the Danube. In the meantime, he sends orders to Admiral Villeneuve to sail into the Mediterranean, where he is to support French operations in Italy. But his Franco-Spanish combined fleet is not in good shape. It is short of supplies and men, and blockaded by a powerful British force, now commanded by Admiral Nelson.
Uh-huh.
Villeneuve decides to stay put. But when Napoleon informs him that he is being replaced as commander, the French admiral is finally stung into action. On the 18th of October 1805, he orders the Franco-Spanish fleet to put to sea. Admiral Villeneuve's combined fleet consists of 33 ships of the line, 18 French and 15 Spanish. Admiral Villeneuve's flagship is the 80-gun Bucentaure. The Spanish contingent is led by Admiral Gravina aboard Príncipe de Asturias of 112 guns. Nelson had been waiting for the enemy with 34 ships of the line, but has just had to send 6 to Gibraltar for resupply and refit. Vice Admiral Calder aboard HMS Prince of Wales, is sent home to face a court-martial for his lackluster performance at Cape Finisterre. So Nelson's now slightly outnumbered, 27 ships against 33.
Couldn't they send him without ship? Or they will court-martial the ship? You'll be like, oh, it's guillotine
The
for
ship
you.
is being punished too. But I wanted to say it's interesting psychologically from what how this guy was introduced to us. And how he said that he's so very practical, that he looks for a practical career in a calm one. But then, yet, when he learns he's being replaced as a commander, I suppose the practical thing would be, okay, I understand this is what happens in the tide of war. I had to make these decisions. I understand Napoleon is not pleased, but well, what can I do? I need to stay here. He's like, oh no, now I'm gonna show you.
No, I think it's because of his career, because he was so concerned with his career. That's why.
Maybe.
And we didn't learn if he made a right decision, because the narrator said that he expected what is in front of him is the British Channel Fleet.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't know if that's true. So was he correct to come back to Cadiz or not?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Though he has 3 powerful first rates, his own flagship Victory, Britannia, and Vice Admiral Collingwood's Royal Sovereign. Both fleets are accompanied by several frigates for scouting and relaying messages. On paper, the Royal Navy is heavily outgunned, but the British know they can rely on superior seamanship and faster gunnery to even the odds. After 8 weeks in Cadiz, Villeneuve is finally back at sea. But he's given his own captains little warning of their sudden departure, and has set sail in unfavourable light winds. As they crawl south along the Spanish coast, they are spotted by British frigates. They relay news of the enemy's departure to Nelson and the British fleet, patrolling 40 miles offshore. Nelson immediately sets course to intercept. On the morning of the 21st of October, Villeneuve's fleet is about 10 miles northwest of Cape Trafalgar, bound for the Straits of Gibraltar. When the British fleet is spotted closing in from the northwest, Villeneuve faces a dilemma. He considers running for the Mediterranean or facing the British in battle, but ultimately he orders the fleet to reverse course and sail back to Cadiz.
So neither.
This abrupt change in course, combined with light winds, many inexperienced crews, causes the combined fleet's formation to become extremely ragged.
But why? Why did he decide that?
It now forms a rough crescent, stretching over 5 miles of sea. Psychologically and tactically, Villeneuve's fleet is already on the back foot. The contrast with the British fleet could not be starker. Nelson's crews are eager for battle, and he has devised a bold plan to ensure a decisive action.
Nelson
Nelson
touch.
touch.
Oh, and he's saying this about himself. Oh,
By
he's getting
11
bolder.
a.m., the British fleet is formed up for battle, and closing with Villeneuve as fast as the light breeze will allow. Nelson had decided on a basic plan of attack weeks earlier. The orthodox tactic at this time would be to line up his fleet alongside the enemy and trade broadsides with them. But Nelson believes these methods too often lead to an indecisive outcome. Instead, he has decided on the bold but not unprecedented tactic of attacking in 2 columns. These will pierce the enemy line and split their fleet into sections to be overwhelmed and defeated in close action before the enemy's vanguard can double back to help.
Can
The
you
major
pause?
drawback is that
I can.
He just said the merchant drawback, so I wonder if this is exactly what he's going to say. But then, well, maybe I have a good question, because I'm just wondering, because they are lined up like this with the sides, and the guns are on the sides. So on the approach, they are being shot at from the guns, and they are not able to shoot back.
Yeah.
You think this is what he's going to say?
during the approach, the lead British ships of each column will come under heavy fire. While being
Yes.
completely
Oh,
unable to
I'm getting
fight
so
back.
smart with this Napoleon videos.
Naturally, Nelson decides he himself will lead one column aboard HMS Victory.
Naturally.
What couple of years in England does to a person? Suddenly you're expert of a warfare on sea.
While being completely unable to fight back. Naturally, Nelson decides he himself will lead one column aboard HMS Victory. The other will be led by Vice Admiral Collingwood aboard HMS Royal Sovereign. As the British ships begin their approach, Nelson asks that a signal be sent to the fleet. England confides that every man will do his duty. For ease of signalling, it becomes, England expects that every man will do his duty.
Bold, to the point.
Light winds mean the two British columns creep forward at around 3 knots, not much more than walking speed. The lead British ships will be under fire for a tense 45 minutes before they reach the enemy line.
And he's on the front.
On the front.
The gunfire starts at noon, with the French 74 Fougue firing ranging shots towards Royal Sovereign. Gradually, gunfire from the combined fleet builds to a steady thunder.
But on the other hand, now they are in good position, but how damaging for morale, how awful if you see the fleet approaching and you're firing at them with all that you have. You don't have more. You don't have a secret weapon hidden anywhere. That's all the gunfire that you have. And you are not able to stop them.
Yeah, I don't think it is the case. I don't know how much ammunition they have on the ship, but I don't think it's so easy to run out of it.
No, but it's just more like we are doing everything and we cannot stop them from approaching.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I mean. Like, there is nothing. It's not like you can run away.
The French and Spanish gun crews lack practice, and their ships are side-on to the wind, increasing the roll. So most of their shots miss their mark. A new signal flies up Victory's mizzenmast. Engage the enemy more closely. It will remain there until later shot away. As the range closes, the French and Spanish gunners begin to land more and more shots on target.
Yeah.
The sails of HMS Victory and Royal Sovereign are peppered by round shot. Spars are knocked down. Victory's ship's wheel is hit and destroyed. Casualties steadily mount. Twice, British ships try to overtake Victory to protect Nelson, but he orders them back into position.
The guy.
Feathers.
Nelson intends to break the enemy line at Villeneuve's flagship, the Bucentaure. Targeting the enemy commander is part of his ruthless approach. But the enemy's ragged formation and a lack of identifying pennants means he has to guess which is Villeneuve's flagship. Fortunately, he guesses right, and around 12:30, HMS Victory is poised to break the line just astern of Bucentaure. But it's Collingwood's fast-sailing Royal Sovereign to the south that will break the line first.
Oh no, he stole the glory from Nelson.
The British have held their fire during their long approach. They've been under attack for half an hour with no way to fight back. That's about to change.
That's about to change.
Every British gun is double-shotted, loaded with 2 rounds.
It's so tense.
Now, as HMS Royal Sovereign passes the Spanish first-rate Santa Ana, she fires a massive, raking broadside into her stern. Several minutes later, HMS Victory passes astern of Bucentaur. She delivers a devastating broadside that cripples Villeneuve's flagship and kills or injures almost...
I am like one of those flags in that wind because I so quickly forgot that we're on the side of Napoleon's, and now I'm like, yes, Nelson, destroy the fleet. And then in the next video, I'm gonna be on Napoleon's side.
Well, I think we should hold our fingers for Nelson, because if not for him, then maybe we would all speak French. So, it's even worse than speaking German. So, thank you, Nelson. As a human being, I really
appreciate
thank
it.
You.
That cripples Villeneuve's flagship and kills or injures almost half its crew. Despite these 2 powerful blows, the lead British ships are, for the moment, hugely outnumbered and in real danger. Collingwood's Royal Sovereign is under fire from all directions. The second ship of his column, HMS Belle-Isle, has been completely demasted. HMS Mars is also taking punishing fire. HMS Victory has got tangled up with Redoutable, which has a strong complement of French Marines. In intense, close-quarters fighting, the isolated British vanguard must hang on until the rest of their ships can join the action.
Famous last words?
After 20 precarious minutes, British ships are arriving, one by one, to join the battle. They pile into the disordered enemy formation, unleashing double-shotted broadsides to devastating effect. Victory now receives much-needed support from Téméraire.
Why the French name of
As
the English ship?
successive British ships enter the fray, a mass brawl develops. It's exactly what Nelson wants, the enemy unable to escape and pummeled at close range. Meanwhile, Admiral Dumanoir's Franco-Spanish vanguard has begun an agonizingly slow turn to try to rejoin the battle. But it will be more than an hour before they're in position.
It's really all down to skill.
Yeah, right.
HMS Africa, a 64-gun third rate, had earlier become separated from the British fleet. Her captain, Henry Digby, now deliberately misinterprets Nelson's order to withdraw to safety. Instead, he charges straight into the battle from the north.
Is that a good
HMS
thing?
Africa sails alone past the entire enemy vanguard, trading broadsides all the way. Then she joins the attack on the giant Santissima Trinidad of 136 guns.
That's the biggest ship they have.
Yes.
When it comes to guns.
To the table before, right?
Victory and Redoutable are now locked in a brutal, close-quarters slugging match. British guns smash the French hull to splinters, while Redoutable's crew assemble on deck to board Victory. At this crucial moment, HMS Téméraire appears on Redoutable's starboard side
Ooh.
and blasts her deck with grape shot.
I don't know what grape shot means.
The French boarding party is mown down.
Ooh.
all three ships become locked together and drift into another French ship, Fougue. Some French and Spanish ships, like Admiral Magon's Algeciras, have used their time in port to train their crews for boarding and close-quarter combat. It makes them dangerous foes in close action. But time and again, just as a French or Spanish ship forms a boarding party, a British ship emerges through the smoke to sweep their deck with grape shot.
Yeah, remember how we said
British
maybe it's not
gunnery
so bad to
is
final
slowly
see?
grinding down the enemy. One by one, the first French and Spanish ships haul down their colours as a sign of their surrender. At the height of the battle, a French sniper, perched high on Redoutable's mizzenmast, spots the British commander on the quarterdeck of HMS Victory.
Ooh.
Nelson is easily distinguished by his bright decorations, which, against advice, he has refused to remove. Now, he is struck by a single musket ball, which plunges into his shoulder and down through his spine. They finally succeeded, Nelson exclaims. I am dead. He is...
I'm sorry for laughing, but it's like the second time, right?
What?
Do you remember he was saying he's dead before, but he wasn't actually?
No. He said that?
Yeah.
Well, he was right. Finally, you were right.
Unless I'm confusing him with someone else, but I have the vivid memory that he was like shot before and he said, I am dead, and then like he wasn't. And now he's like, yes, they succeeded. Okay, now
it's like my grandmother after every birthday.
Christmas.
every birthday she's like, this is my last birthday. And finally she was right.
Everyone, like, no one even looks at him. Like he's screaming
fuck.
like, I'm dead. And he's like, oh, he's at it again. It's like, what, really? Okay, now I'm serious against her. It's someone said in the comments once that like we're laughing too much. I'm sorry. It's just we are kind of like funny kind of people, I guess. But I appreciate the seriousness.
Guys dying, but we are funny kind of people.
I appreciate the seriousness of the situation.
carried below for medical treatment, where he's brought frequent reports on the progress of the battle. It is now 3 hours since battle was joined. To the south, the French 74 Achille, under fire from multiple ships, has caught fire. While to the north, Dumanoir's vanguard is finally in position to join the battle. But only Intrépide makes a determined attack. The other ships fire a few ineffective long-range shots, then veer away rather than engage the British in close action.
Right.
One captured Spanish crew, witnessing this conduct, is so enraged that they offer to open fire on their supposed allies.
Oh my god.
But the French ships soon slip out of range. They can see that Villeneuve's fleet is beaten.
Wow.
More than a dozen French and Spanish ships have now surrendered. Those that can are escaping. The news reaches Nelson, who hovers between life and death on the orlop deck of HMS Victory. He knows the end is near. He whispers to his old friend and comrade, Captain Hardy, "Take care of my dear Lady Hamilton, and then kiss me, Hardy." A few
They
moments
really like
pass.
kissing.
"Thank God I have done my duty," Nelson murmurs, and dies soon after.
But can you, of course, very sad for him to die and not to be able to rejoice in the victory, but can you imagine he could not have chosen a better moment to die? I mean, maybe after the battle, but he already knows that he succeeded.
That's why we are talking about him 200 years later.
Yeah.
badass.
Yeah, and also you know, because he could have easily been shot at the beginning of the battle. Maybe he doesn't know before during the advance, but he dies knowing that he achieved what he wanted.
I think Napoleon, when he was on Saint Helena, he could have moments, you know, when he was thinking about the Nelson, like, and be jealous for him.
Whether that's true and it's actually his last words or not, probably not. But, you know, to say, thank God I have done my duty and then die. Who can say that? It's like a death that was written in a book or in a movie. It seems almost impossible, right?
Around 6 p.m. at the southern edge of the battle, the fires aboard Achille reach her grand magazine. The ship is obliterated in an enormous explosion that kills half her crew instantly. This spectacular, bloody event proves the final act of a battle that has claimed 5,000 lives.
That's a lot for a...
And it is now clear
for a naval
that
battle.
it has been a total and decisive British victory. Of the 33 French and Spanish ships under Villeneuve's command, 17 have been captured and 1 destroyed. And though several British ships are badly damaged, none have been lost. The casualties are similarly one-sided. Admiral Villeneuve is
10
among
times as
several
many.
thousand prisoners taken by the British. He is allowed to return to France, but 6 months later he is dead. By suicide or murder remains unclear.
Yeah, I think Napoleon was like, no.
The Spanish commander, Admiral Gravina, escapes the battle, but dies of his wounds 6 months later.
Oh, that's a long death.
While for the British, victory is tainted by the loss of their own brilliant, talismanic commander.
He respected him and he was thinking back
cleaner.
about it. Yeah.
As he lay dying, Nelson's last order to the fleet had been to drop anchor, fearing bad weather. He was not wrong. A ferocious Atlantic storm soon developed,
The sea is raging that it
battering
lost.
the victorious fleet and its many prizes. The gales howl for days,
It really looks like
causing
that, right?
chaos
Like the sea is angry
and
that he died.
scattering battle-damaged ships across miles of ocean. The French and Spanish take advantage, trying to retake some of their captured ships. French frigates recapture the Spanish first-rate Santa Ana. 4 captured crews rise up against their British captors and retake their own ships. But 3 of these are driven ashore and wrecked. Despite immense efforts, the British save only 4 of their 17 captured prizes. The rest are burned or lost to the storm, which probably claims more French and Spanish lives than the battle itself. For the French, there seems no end to the bad news. 2 weeks later, Admiral Dumanoir and his 4 French ships which had escaped the battle are intercepted by Captain Strachan's squadron off Cape Ortegal. All 4 French ships are captured. For the British, it caps a remarkable fortnight of naval triumphs.
Yeah, it must have been so frustrating for Napoleon and for the British too. Like, you are such a badass on the continent, you know, as Napoleon. You are winning battles, you know, you are fighting against 5 countries, like Sweden, Austria, Naples.
For each battle a different tactic. You learned from each battle. You were undefeatable.
On the sea, you are just clapped, you know.
Yeah, like you're a child, right? And then there are adults going like, move away.
And it's the same way for the British, but in the other way.
In the other
On
way.
the sea, we are the masters.
Titans, but then you're like a seal when you get out on the and you cannot move. Yeah.
Admiral Nelson's body is returned to England aboard HMS Victory, preserved in a cask of brandy, lashed to the mainmast. He becomes the first non-royal to receive a state funeral in Britain since the Duke of Marlborough, 83 years earlier. For 3 days his body lies in state in the painted hall of Greenwich Hospital, where it is visited by thousands. Then he is moved by river to St. Paul's Cathedral, where the funeral procession includes 32 admirals, 189 carriages, and thousands of troops. Nelson's coffin, made of timbers from the French warship L'Orient,
Well,
is placed
okay.
in a
The
sarcophagus
British really know
in the
how
cathedral
to.
crypt. News of Trafalgar takes
He should, if he could, say one word from the dead, he would be like, I also like to sleep on the battlefield.
He would probably say, I am dead, knowing him.
4 weeks to reach Napoleon near Vienna. He is en route to his own great victory over the Russians and Austrians at Austerlitz. But of the 2 famous battles of 1805, Trafalgar will have far greater consequences.
And a greater video by Epic
The
History.
Battle of Trafalgar is one of the most crushing victories in naval history. It did not save Britain from invasion. That danger had already passed. But the sheer scale of victory ensured British supremacy at sea was unchallenged for the remaining 10 years of the Napoleonic Wars. Napoleon had to look for other means to defeat the British, a path that would lead him into grave errors and pave the way for his own eventual defeat. For Britain, the naval dominance secured at Trafalgar would underpin her imperial power throughout the 19th century, an age she dominated as the world's leading global empire.
It's a shame that he could not see this.
The Royal Navy would
Right.
not face a serious challenge at sea until the Battle of Jutland, more than a century later.
Century.
Right now, do you think AI
Okay.
There's one thing I wanted to immediately say about his videos that I'm noticing right now, that their videos, that the channel has a really good balance between you can watch it as someone who knows a little bit about history. At no point do you feel like they are patronizing you. Like it assumes the viewer is intelligent and can make connections, but he also does, like he did now at the end, like he is not afraid to tell you outright, like this happened because of this, or like this led to this. And this is why, like, he summed it up why this is so important. And I really like it, especially when we were watching so many videos. Now I notice it because we watched 3 in a row. So it's really nice to have these moments that are very, very stressed, very highlighted. Like, this is what's important from what you just watched. I appreciate it.
Yeah, like a summary, but also like
the context, tying it to the whole series, the whole events of the world, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that element. And it was such a good video, wasn't it?
It was. I don't know if it was not
It might have been the best.
the best.
I think it might have been the best. I mean, I liked the Napoleon crossing the Alps as well, and the ones before in Egypt. The Egypt campaign, it was amazing. But I don't know, this one was just like there was so many emotions, and like you can feel the narrator is so
And
enthusiastic
really
about
the
it.
fact that he died, like, kind of
He had a hero
like
death.
sorry, but it was like a cherry on top.
Yeah, like, I'm sorry that he died, and probably a lot would have happened later, and it's kind of sad that he did not get to see it. But to have such a hero death, it really is like it's like from a movie. Like if I would not have, I would think it's part of a legend. If someone just mentioned it to me, I would have to check. I would not believe it straight away that you can have such a perfect death.
Yeah, but because as well he could be wounded and die 2 weeks later. And it would not
he
have
dies
been the
on
same,
the battlefield.
but he dies during the battle.
Yeah, and just having seen that he succeeded as well.
And also,
It's just-
as his dying wish, kind of, or dying order, he orders them to anchor the ships,
and he's also correct.
and he basically saves them again. So it's like really, like I said, and I think I was correct that Napoleon would spend a lot of time thinking
It
about
says
the
a lot,
guy.
right? That he's thinking about him and drawing these conclusions about him when he's on St. Helena, and just thinking about his life.
Can you imagine the dick measuring contest
Yeah.
if they would ever meet?
Yeah, I cannot.
They'd be like, and I gave them the Nelson's touch.
But I had
I
the most,
put a crown on myself.
and I had the most flamboyant.
Yeah.
I loved it, and I'm so excited to continue with the series.
Now a little bit of a break from Napoleon videos, but not too long.
No, just a normal break.
But yeah.
And because we just passed this one, I am already satisfied. But do feel free to let us know what moments in the future that we need to get really excited for.
Yeah.
What's the next one that we're getting excited for? I am okay with one more, like a couple of episodes of build up for the future. Although I think there's a lot of great things still to come. But this was very rewarding. I love this series.
Yeah. I feel like we turned, the turning point.
Yeah, like we are starting.
Now it's gonna be just
now.
wars for Napoleon.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, thank you for watching with us. Have a great day, and thank you for being here. If you are new to the channel, please subscribe, like the thumbs up, and you can watch other videos that we did from this series. We did all of them at this point, until this point. Thank you for being with us, and goodbye.
Goodbye.